The day the ocean opened. The sea had always been a boundary. For centuries, Europeans looked eastward for wealth and wonder, spices, silk, gold. But the old roads were closing. Great cities had fallen, empires had risen. The familiar routes to the east were now guarded, taxed, and controlled by powers beyond Europe's reach. The world, it seemed, was shrinking, or so they believed. In the year 1492, a man named Christopher Columbus stared westward into an ocean no one truly understood. The maps were uncertain. The distances were guesses. Monsters and endless waters filled the imaginations of sailors. Many believed the sea would simply go on forever. Columbus believed otherwise. He was not a king nor a noble. He was a dreamer, stubborn, relentless, and convinced that the riches of Asia lay just beyond the horizon if one dared to sail the opposite way. Most courts laughed at him. Some dismissed him as foolish. But at last, the Spanish monarchs, Ferdinand and Isabella, agreed to take the risk. 3 ships were prepared: the Niña, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. On a quiet August morning, the ships slipped away from the Spanish shore. Behind them lay the known world. Ahead, nothing but water. Days turned into weeks. The compass needle behaved strangely. The wind carried them farther from home than any sailor had ever gone. Food spoiled. Fresh water thinned. The crew whispered of curses and doom. Some demanded they turn back. Others watched the horizon with growing fear, certain they were sailing toward the end of the world. Columbus did not turn back. He walked the decks at night, listening to the creak of wood and the restless murmurs of his men. He hid the true distance they had traveled, fearing the truth would break their resolve. Every sunrise without land was a test of faith. Then, in the early hours of October 12th, a cry shattered the darkness. Land! The ocean had yielded. They stepped onto unfamiliar shores, lush, green, and alive. Palms swayed in warm air. The sand gleamed beneath their feet. Columbus fell to his knees, giving thanks. He believed he had reached the edges of Asia. He did not know he was standing on a world unknown to Europe. The people who greeted them were not merchants of the East, nor rulers of ancient empires. They were inhabitants of lands untouched by European maps. Curious, human, real. History shifted in that moment. Columbus sailed onward, claiming islands in the name of Spain, convinced he was skirting the edges of the Indies. He returned home celebrated as a hero. Yet what he truly carried back was something far greater than gold or spices. He had revealed another half of the world. Soon ships followed. Explorers, traders, soldiers, and settlers crossed the ocean Columbus had opened. Maps were redrawn. Wealth flowed westward. The center of global power moved from the Mediterranean to the Atlantic. Empires rose. Civilizations collided. Cultures were forever changed, often violently, always irreversibly. The ocean was no longer a barrier. It became a bridge. What began as a desperate search for a new route to the east became the discovery that transformed humanity's understanding of the world. Just as the fall of Constantinople had closed old paths, this voyage tore open new horizons. The world had not ended at the edge of the sea. It had only just begun.